Oh, hello there. This hour on Verbling, the next in my Learning from Pictures series. That's right. This is the series of classes every Friday where you work on your powers of description and I guide you along, giving you ideas about adjectives you can use and also ways we can approach description of pictures to help you build your vocabulary. So, all of that and more coming up in just a moment. But first, quick introduction and then we'll get started. I'm John Eric, your Verbling teacher for this hour. I'm an American teacher from New York, coming at you today from Lisbon, Portugal to bring you this class. By the way, if you click on my name anywhere in the Verbling website, it'll take you here. This is my profile page. If you follow me by clicking the follow button on the left, you can chat with me in the link in the message window on the top right side. And you can also book a private tutoring session or buy a package, and I'll work with you on creating a personalized learning plan to help get you to your goals. All that and more. What was I going to say? Oh, I forgot. If you're interested in booking, send me a message first, just so I can make sure that I've got time for you in my schedule. Okay, all of that and more coming up in just a minute. I want to give you a link to the material for. Oh no, you know what? Wait, I don't want to give you the link to this actually because I don't want you to see it yet. So ignore that link. I just want you to look at the pictures. Don't open this because I want it to be a surprise. This is our special Halloween edition of what's going on in this picture. We'll see spooky pictures from all over the internet, things that are real, no Photoshop at all, and I want to get your reaction to these things. So, let's get started. I'll say a quick hello just to make sure that your microphones are working. So the first person I saw was, it looks like Enes or Ines. How do I say your name?
My name is Ines.
Ines. Okay, very good. And where are you from, Ines?
I am from Egypt.
From Egypt. Great to have you here, Ines. And who else do we have? We have Sylvia. Welcome back, Sylvia. How are you?
Hi, John. Fine, thank you.
Very good, very good. Anna Carolina, how are you today?
Hello, teacher. Good morning. I'm fine, thank
Good
you for
morning.
asking.
Very good. Mr. Jose, how are you?
Hello, John. I'm doing very well. And you?
Very
Awesome.
good, very good. Awesome.
Awesome.
Ms. Natasha, how are you today?
Hello, I'm fine. Thank you for asking. I'm very
Very
glad to
good.
see you.
Very good, very good. This is the spooky Halloween edition of what's going on in this picture. We're going to begin by looking at a detail of a spooky picture, a real picture, but a spooky picture. By the way, do you know what I mean by spooky? I'm going to put a few Halloween words in the chat window. Tell me if you can give me a few synonyms. First of all, what is spooky? Anyone know what a spooky thing is? Spooky. How do you feel if you feel spooked? Do you feel good? Do you feel bad? Do you feel normal? Do you feel strange? Anyone? Take a wild guess. Maybe scared. Absolutely. If something is spooky, it's a little bit scary. It feels odd or unusual. Spooky. Because a spook, it's not a word you hear often these days, but it basically has something to do with a ghost or something supernatural. But you can feel spooked, which means afraid, something like that, scared, strange. Can anyone think of a few other words that are similar to spooky? Let's see if we can get a few synonyms going. Words similar to spooky. Educated guesses. Anyone?
May I?
Go for it.
Okay. F. Frightened.
Mm-hmm.
Mm, uh, my gosh, scary, of course.
Uh-huh.
Um,
So that's good. But we
Sinister.
often but sinister. Okay, that's a good one.
Sinister.
Yeah, because we're
Mischievous.
gonna use it to talk about a situation, right? So it's a spooky feeling in a place or situation. So spooky, sinister is good. Something that
Spiny.
feels.
Mm,
Spiny ceiling.
Say again.
Spiny ceiling.
Spiny, Spiny. Is
I'm
that it?
going to type it. I'm not
Okay.
sure, teacher.
um, John could be ghostly.
Ghostly. Well,
Ghostly.
ghostly, you'd have to see something that looks like a ghost, like a
Okay.
ghostly image in a photograph or
Mi
something like that.
Mysterious.
Mysterious, yeah, that's good. Spine chilling. Okay, I see
Spy
what you're.
chill.
I see
Weird.
what you're saying. We
Weird.
can we can also say spine. That's good, Anna. You can also say spine tingling. That funny feeling you get when something isn't right. Spine chilling, spine tingling.
Weird
That
is possible, John. Weird.
weird. Weird can mean a lot of things, though.
Yes.
Right? People can be weird.
It's so
Situations can be
so
weird.
much general. Yes.
Okay, another good word is creepy. Creepy has a kind of spooky feeling as well. Something sort of unnatural, creepy, spine tingling, spooky. Okay, we'll see if we can come up with some other general words for the Halloween season. Let's start with our first picture. In this first picture, we're going to start on a detail. I'm going to move in really close for the first picture. Okay? Sylvia, you
Okay.
start us off. Sylvia, what do you see in this picture?
Okay. Uh, a devil doll.
A devil doll. Okay. I want you to give me two adjectives to describe the feeling of this picture.
um, okay. What is spooky?
It's definitely spooky.
And
What else could you say?
sinister.
It is sinister. It is. It's kind of a spooky, sinister devil doll. I don't know if it's a doll. I hope it's a doll. It's a spooky, sinister devil doll. Okay, there you go. So Sylvia, we'll start off our description with that. And everyone else, I'm going to ask you different kinds of questions so we can work with different kinds of vocabulary. Okay. By the way, let's just say a quick hello to who else is joining us now. I saw someone else come in. Oh, it's Mr. Antonio. Welcome to class, Antonio. I don't know if you're there, Antonio.
Hello.
There you are. Good. Mr. Mahmoud, how are you?
Yes, fine. And
Welcome to class. Very good. Where are you from, Mahmoud?
you? Egypt.
Egypt. Okay, we've got two Egyptians in the class.
Yes.
And do you know each other?
No,
No,
it's
just
first time.
just a coincidence. Okay. And welcome back, Randa, as well. Hi, Randa. Welcome to class. Uh-oh, I don't hear Randa. Hello, Randa. Okay. Randa's, if you're out there, Randa, just turn on your mic and say hello. Okay, Ms. Natasha. Ms. Natasha, what do you think's really happening in this picture? Sylvia thinks it's a devil doll. She thinks it's spooky and sinister. What do you think this is really a picture of?
Okay, looking at this picture, I think that it's only a very dirty and old doll with cut hair and with open eyes.
Mm-hmm.
And it is looking something aside. But I think that this doll is nearby the maybe tree, any tree, and maybe it is lost by her mistress. Maybe so.
Maybe it's lost.
By her mistress, by her, by girl, and I mean that this doll was any doll, maybe.
Okay, okay, good, good. Let me give you a few suggestions on your language here. You said it's open eyes, okay, but we're going to say it's missing. It's missing eyes, or it's missing its eyes. It's looking at something to the side. It's okay, you can say that. You could also say it's looking at something out of frame, because the picture has a frame around it, right? We can only see part of the picture. We don't see what's outside of the frame. The frame is the red thing. So you can say it's looking out of the frame or it's looking off frame, because a picture has a frame, right? You just take a little section of what you see when you take a picture.
Okay.
You say it's nearby a tree. I might just correct you there to say it's probably on a tree, right? Or in a tree. On because it might be attached to the tree, but or in a tree, like in a branch, something like that. Okay, not just near, because it looks like it's right against it. And finally, you said maybe it's lost by her mistress. Mistress, that's not clear. I would say maybe it was lost by her owner, because dolls are owned by someone. Maybe the owner was a little girl or something like that. Okay, very good. Let's zoom out now. We saw a detail. Let's go out and see what you think now. Mahmoud, I want you to take a look at the whole picture. And now that you can see the entire picture, does that change how you feel about the picture? Does that change what you think is really going on?
Yes, of course. I think.
Yeah. Pretty weird, huh?
Really. I think it's a type of statue.
Ah, a kind of statue. Okay.
Yes, something like that. But I don't know what type of this, what represent. I think it's a represent type of kids, something like, I don't know, it's difficult pictures.
When you say represents kids, do you mean that this is a kind of art?
Yes, I think it's
okay.
art, yes.
Maybe it's a kind of art installation or a kind of art project of some kind, right?
Yes,
I'm going to put the word installation, because sometimes when you've got art out there in a real place, not in a museum, right? We might call that an installation, kind of
installation.
Art.
Can you write it?
Yeah, take a look in the chat window.
Okay.
So you wrote kind of statue represents kid. I wrote art installation. Yeah, it could be. Maybe it's a kind of art installation that's meant to get us to think about something. Maybe to get us to think about children. Still pretty creepy. Still kind of strange.
What's the meaning of creepy? Creepy like strange?
In the beginning, we had some Halloween words. Words that make you feel, describe how you feel during Halloween, or when you watch a horror movie, or when you're in a dark place with no light. And those words were creepy. We had creepy. We had spine tingling, which is the feeling you feel in your body when you feel nervous, afraid, and there's something unnatural going on around you. Creepy. What was the other one we said earlier? Creepy. Spooky. That was it. Creepy, spooky, a spine-tingling feeling, something just strange and weird. These are also words you could use. And if anyone else can think of some other great Halloween words for feeling weird around something, a supernatural feeling, let me know. Okay, let's get one more commenter on this picture, and then I'll reveal what's really going on. Okay, so Inez, you're new. Let's give you a chance to talk about this. Here's my question: if you were there, how would you react to seeing this? If you were in this location, how would you react?
React equal feel. How you feel?
Yeah, yes. How would you feel if you were there?
This location is
Would you be surprised?
describe this picture.
How would you feel if you were there
This
in that
picture,
place?
when you see this picture, I am not comfortable. This
Right.
um, this picture in the garden, I think, such as museum.
Mhm. If you were walking in the park, imagine you were walking in the park
Yes.
and you turned the corner. You turned the corner on a path and suddenly you saw this. What would you do? What would you do if you saw this in the park?
I am afraid.
I would be afraid. I would be.
Yeah, I would be afraid because I'm not comfortable this location.
Right. Very good. Look in the chat window. I'm going to give you a few suggestions, Ines. Instead of saying not comfortable, you could say I would not feel comfortable, right? And I would be. So we use would. We can use would to talk about what we think would happen, not what does happen, but what we imagine. I would not feel comfortable. I would be afraid. Okay,
I would
very
be
good.
afraid. I would be afraid.
Afraid. Okay, let's take a look at what's really going on in the picture. Okay, I'm going to churn. Oh, I got another angle for you. I'm sorry. Anna Carolina, this is another angle on the same photo. Does this picture change your opinion about the previous picture? It's the same location, but now I've given you a different angle. Does this change your opinion about what's going on or how you feel?
No, it doesn't.
So, who do you think created this? What do you think that they were trying to achieve?
I don't know. The person must be either a psychopath
Probably.
because it appears as if a lot of babies were assassinated. It's awful. I don't feel comfortable at all. Um,
So if I told
if
you this was in my backyard of my house, would that
I
change?
I would feel afraid of you. I would fear you.
Don't fear me. Anna Carolina, I'd like you to read the caption and let's find out what the real situation is. Can you read that for us?
Sure, thank you, my pleasure. What's going on in this picture? The island of the dolls, Mexico. Xochimilco? I don't know.
I don't know either.
Is a district of Mexico City that contains an extensive system of canals and artificial islands, or chinampas. I don't know.
Whoever speaks Mexican Spanish, help us out. I'm not sure how to pronounce it.
Okay,
Chinapeps, maybe. Chinapas, maybe. I don't know.
chinampas. I don't. Me neither. The most famous of which belonged to a man named Julian Santana Barrera. After he discovered the body of a dead girl in a nearby canal, he began collecting discarded dolls and doll parts, which he would hang from the trees on his island in an attempt to ward off evil spirits. Mr. Barrera died in 2001, but the dolls remain, and the creepy island can be visited by boat.
Wow. What do you think about that? Raise your hand if you'd like to go to this island. You can visit it by boat. Let me see. Show of hands. Who wants to go with me? Anyone? Come on, V. You know you want to go.
Me, I would like to go with you.
Jose
Yeah.
wants to go. Me, Jose. Anyone else coming with us?
Yes, I will come for sure.
Excellent.
It
Let's
will be
go.
fascinating.
Only dudes? Come on, come on. Let's bring a few chicks with us, too. As I told you, these are all real pictures, no Photoshop, and nothing has been made up. Google for it if you don't believe me. The Island of the Dolls. Picture number two. Picture number two. Mr. Antonio, I want you to start us off. I'm going to start the picture all close up in a detail. You're going to tell me what you see and what you think's going on. Are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
Here we go. Ooh.
Oh. It seems a scenario of a video game. Like
It seems like the scenery of a video game?
yeah, it's a video game of war,
Okay.
kind of Call of Duty or similar. Yeah, I come. Moment. I can expect zombies or some spiritual danger spirits. Although I don't see anything about this, I suppose they are hiding in behind the windows of the door,
It
or
must be.
maybe in the corner of the left. I
They're
don't know.
watching us. They're watching us, Antonio.
They're watching. So it seems the night is near, or it's night.
Mm-hmm.
So I think the zombies are sleeping. Sleeping? No. It's the opposite of the sleeping. They waking. They wake up.
They're awake.
They are awake. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Okay.
Yes.
Let me give you a suggestion. A few language suggestions. You said it's the scenery of a video game. It does look like it, but this is a real picture, by the way. This is a real picture. It's a real picture. I'm going to show you another angle in just a second. It's a real, so it looks like it might be from a video game. I think you said Call of Duty, right? So what? Oh, okay. And you said I can expect some spiritual danger. Okay, you could say that in a different way. You could say it seems haunted.
Yes.
Haunted, right? It seems haunted. It has a sinister feeling about it. I'll put this in the chat window so you can see my suggestions. So, because spiritual, that sounds like religion. Spiritual sounds like you're going to church, right? Like the Catholic Church is a spiritual place or something like that. So spiritual danger would be clear, but if you say it seems haunted, I understand what you mean. It seems haunted, it seems sinister. You said, I think they're hiding in the corners. Okay, that's a good point. Seems like people are watching us. And you said it seems the night is near. You mean it's nearly dusk. It's nearly dusk in the picture. So the word, Antonio, is dusk.
Okay. Thank you.
Remember the movie From Dusk Till Dawn?
No, I haven't seen that film.
That's the movie Dusk. Dusk is when the sun sets, and dawn is when the sun rises. And the movie is Dusk Till Dawn. That's a Quentin Tarantino movie from the 90s where people have to survive overnight in a haunted house from dusk till dawn. Or it's a house with vampires or something. I can't remember. I never saw the movie. But I know the words. Dusk till dawn. Okay. So, Ms. V, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay. Ms. V, what I want to know from you is, I want to know Give me a second here.
Mm-hmm.
I want you to tell me 3 differences between this picture and a picture of, for example, the building where you live. I want you to give me 3 concrete differences. You've got to be very particular in your details now.
Yeah, the first is this is the abandoned building.
Or it seems abandoned anyway.
Yeah, it seems abandoned. And the second is most of I think most of the walls seem to be made of wood.
Seem to be made of wood. Okay.
Yeah, wood. And the staircase might be made of stone. And
Okay.
I think these materials are not used in my current building.
Okay.
So,
And that's are those the main differences?
yeah.
I have a feeling the building you live looks very different than this. Do you live in
Yes, very.
Do you live in a haunted building?
No,
No.
of course
Okay.
no.
Okay.
No. Don't make me scared. I think I can't sleep tonight.
One thing I would say, for example, is the shutters in the windows. The shutters are the building is run down. First of all, it's run down. That's a good word.
Mm-hmm.
And the building where you live is surely not run down. Run down is like falling apart. It's run down.
Mm-hmm.
It's dilapidated. This is a good word too. I'll put this in the chat window. It's run down. It's dilapidated. Let's get another angle on this. Let me just see if I can. Give me a second. I want to now before I want to show you another picture, but I've got a caption on that picture. Give me just a second here. I want to go to a picture that doesn't have a caption. If you hang on just a second, I want to get rid of the caption for a minute because I want you to see another angle for the same location. I'm going to get another commenter to talk about this version. Give me just a second because I've got to re-edit the picture. It'll take just a second here. 1 second. It's a little bit slow because I have to open the picture and edit it. Give me just a minute. 1 minute. Okay. Whoops.
You're fucking kidding me.
Hold on a second. Excuse me. Okay, I got it. So I'm going to refresh this in just a second. And wait, hold on a second. I've got some noise going on in my building. Give me just a second. Okay, I think that refreshed. I'm going to jump forward. There we go. There we go. Okay, take a look now. Mr. Jose, now that you can see it from this angle,
Yes.
tell me what's going on in this picture. Now you can see it from a broader angle. Maybe even where do you think it is?
I think all of these buildings could have been destroyed because some war was happened 2 or 3 years ago.
Okay, so this is like, we could call this,
Yes.
call this sort of...
It is my point of view.
Okay, good.
I don't know if it is. I don't know if it is true, but I think these buildings have been destroyed.
So we could call that maybe this is the ruins of a city.
Yes.
Ruins of a city. Okay, very good. Does anyone know where this picture takes place, where it was taken? Before I reveal some features of the actual thing. Well, I'm going to go in and I'm going to give you a caption in a second.
Where this picture was taken?
Does anyone know where this was taken before I show you?
Yes, this is Iceland in Japan.
It's not an Iceland. It's an island.
Island.
It's an island in Japan. Have you seen this before, Sylvia?
Yes.
Where
It's
have you seen
Ireland.
this?
In a reported
In a news report?
Yes. It's a city that they building for miners, for workers, and then they abandoned it because the factory was closed.
Ah, very interesting. Well, I happen to have a caption here too. So I'm going to jump back to the previous picture and put the caption now. Okay, Sylvia, can you read that for us?
Yes. Hashima Island?
No, without the S. Island.
Hashima Island, Japan, found around 15 kilometers from Nagasaki. Hashima was used as a coal mining facility between 1887 and 1974, with its population reaching a peak of 5,259 people in 1959, or 216,264 per square mile. After petroleum replaced coal throughout Japan in the 1960s, Hashima was abandoned and is now
was abandoned.
Abandoned.
Good.
And is now known as a ghost island. A small portion of the island was reopened to tourists in 2009.
No. Let's say it like this: 2009.
2009.
Right.
And sightseeing boat trips often stop here.
Okay. Do you know why it was open in 2009, class? Did you know why? There's actually a funny reason. It was open in 2009 because of this. Does this look familiar?
Yes, it's James Bond, I think.
It's James Bond. Because in 2009, it was the location of the Daniel Craig second James Bond film, Skyfall. Was that the second or the third? I can't remember. Anyway, and here's a scene in the middle of the town, the abandoned town, right? So you might have recognized this in the kind of the middle of the movie. He ends up on this island with Javier Bardem, what's his name? And here's another picture you might recognize if you saw the film. He's got to shoot. What does he have to do? He has to shoot a glass off the top of the woman's head in the movie. Did you see the movie?
Yes.
Is that what he does? He has to shoot something off the top of her head or something like that. They're playing like a game because Javier. How do you say the actor's name? Is it Javier Bardem? Does anyone know the name of the actor? No?
No, I don't know.
He's Spanish.
I don't know.
Is it Bardem or Bardem? Oh, come on, all you Spanish people.
Do you remember?
It's Bardem. That's it. Javier Bardem. Okay, I spelled his name.
Bardem. Okay.
That's it. So he plays the psychotic evil villain, and he puts James Bond's current Bond babe girlfriend there, and I think he's got to shoot a cocktail glass off of her head or something like that. Anyway, this is the real place featured in the movie, and there's the movie, Skyfall. Daniel Craig is sad because he lost one of his girlfriends in the movie. True story, and it happened in 2009, I believe, so afterwards they opened it up to tourists. Still, pretty creepy place. Look at this. Creepy. Okay. Our next picture, I'm going to start with, not a detail this time. I am going to start with the detail. No, I didn't realize I had one. Okay. Let's see. Let's move in close first. Inaz, I want you to take a look and tell me, what do you see? We're in very, very close. So the picture is a little blurry because I've zoomed into a tiny detail of the picture.
Okay.
What do you see, Inaz?
Christian, such
A cross?
yes, cross. And a man in the cross.
So you've got, not a man, we'll say a figure. That's a figure.
Figure.
Of
The
figure.
resolution of this picture, the resolution is very bad.
Because we're in very close. That's why.
You zooming, yes.
I zoomed in. Yeah, I zoomed in. So this is a tiny detail in the big picture. So you see a cross. You see the figure of Jesus on the cross.
Yes.
Okay.
And people under the picture.
People.
Yes. And wood. I think some wood in this picture behind the cross.
Okay, good. So there's some wood, or maybe it's something else, but there's some wood behind the cross. Good. So we've got people around it, maybe.
Maybe.
Yeah, so we've got around, things are near the cross, and there's something behind, wood behind. Okay, very good. So that's a little bit about the detail. I'm going to zoom out now. Let's zoom out and take another look.
Okay.
Here's the full picture.
This is the front there. No people.
No people. No people.
Okay.
So now that you can see the whole picture, let's see. Natasha, let's go to you. Natasha, what is this a picture of, now that we've zoomed out?
Well, I don't know exactly what is it, because firstly I thought that it's a place like a cemetery, but now looking at this picture, I suppose that it may be something place recreated these crypts and other symbolic things, and after that people had the opportunity to buy it for the cemetery. I mean, for cemetery of their relatives. I don't know what is exactly.
Okay, it's a little hard to hear you. Your connection is a little bit difficult to hear. So you said you thought it was a cemetery, right? But now you think it might be a place where you can...
Created. Recreated. I mean, created.
I didn't quite catch the word. Where something was created.
Yeah.
Created. What was created?
I'm sorry. I don't remember exactly what is. These symbolic things. I don't know.
Like where when you say symbolic things, you mean the crosses?
Yes, crosses.
Okay. Okay. So we can call those relics. We can say these are maybe religious relics, things that have a religious significance to them. Wait, hold a second. Religious relics. And you're saying that maybe this is a place where people can
buy
what?
these.
Okay, where people can buy these. Okay, good. So you're probably not too far off. Could be true. Could be true. Let's find out. I'm going to give you a caption down there. Okay. And let's see. Mr. Jose, do you think you could read the caption for us in this picture at the bottom? Uh-oh, I don't hear you, Jose. Are you out there? Going once? Going twice? No, Jose. Mr. Antonio, can you read the caption for us on this picture?
Yes, sure, a moment. The Hill of Crosses, Lithuania. The Hill of Crosses is a Catholic pilgrimage site that was established in the 1830s. It is thought to contain at least 100,000 crosses and giant crucifixes, and was being described by Pope John Paul II as a place for hope, peace, and love. You you wouldn't want to spend the night here alone, however.
Why not? Why wouldn't you want to spend the night here alone, Antonio? What do you think?
Because it could be a very scary situation.
Could be a little scary. Could be. So there you go. This is a real place, the Hill of Crosses in Lithuania. Has anyone seen this picture before? Do you know anything about the actual place? I've never heard of this place until today, until I found the picture. Just curious. Anyone seen this before? No? There you go. So, Natasha, maybe you weren't so far off. Maybe that's kind of close to the real thing. Because if this was mentioned by the Pope, then probably, and it's a place of pilgrimage, right? Pilgrimage, that means people go there as a religious devotion. So it's not too far off. So good guess, Natasha. Pretty good.
Okay.
All right. Speaking about religious places and places that are a little bit spooky for Halloween, my next picture is in a different part of the world, but it's kind of similar. Anna Carolina, what do you see in this picture?
I cannot see the pic. Okay, now I can. A lot of skulls and bones. Something was built using femurs, real femurs and skulls from real people who had passed away. I believe that I know where it is. It's a church somewhere. Yes, I think I've seen that. It's quite shocking.
It is a bit shocking.
Yes, a lot of shocking for me. A lot shocking. A lot of bones.
And just a question. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, what? Sorry.
Just a question about the word femur. In what do you mean by femur? Because in English, that's a very technical word. I'm not sure.
The largest a bone
Where is it?
in our thigh.
The thigh bone. Okay, thigh bone. Got it.
The thigh bone.
Got
the
it.
largest bone that we have in our body, because I can see the part that is connected to our knee.
Right. Got it. I just wanted to point out that maybe people might not know what a femur is, because in English it's a little bit technical. They might not know that word. So you could say thigh bone. They'll understand. Yeah, you're right. It's like a ball and socket joint. So the femur is like a ball and it fits into the knee or whatever, something like that, or vice versa. Okay, very good. And does anyone else recognize this picture, by the way? Have any of you seen this before?
Yes, it's the catacombs of Paris.
The catacombs of Paris. Very good. How did you know that? Have you seen it in person or just in pictures?
No, I see in the TV.
Ah, very good. So, very good. So what do you know about it, Sylvia? Can you tell us a little bit about it? What do you remember?
I think it's like tunnels that are around under Paris.
Right.
And they are full of bones.
That's true.
I think you can visit a part, I think.
Mm-hmm. Okay, very good. And V, Have you seen this before?
No, never.
Why do you think this was built? She says it's underneath Paris in the catacombs, these passageways underneath the city. And she's right. Why do you think this was built?
Because it doesn't look natural. The shape is seems to have uh, how can I say, the people's touch.
The people's what? What's the word?
Touch or something. People's hand. I mean, the interference.
Okay. You mean it seems handmade? Got it. Handmade.
Yeah.
So it was made by hand, not by machine. Is that what you mean?
Yeah. But I mean, with the interference of people, because it doesn't seem like natural.
I hope not. It seems very, very deliberate, doesn't it? The skulls are in the middle.
Yeah.
There's other bones. They all seem to be perfectly put together. Yeah. Okay. So you mean it's got a human touch to it, or a man-made touch, or something like that?
Yeah.
Okay. Very good. Well, V, let's get some information here. I'm going to change the slide, and I'd like you to read the caption for us. Can you see that at the bottom?
The last sentence I cannot see.
Okay, but read what you can see.
Yeah. Okay. The Parisian
The
Parisian catacombs function as a gigantic.
Not gigantic, but gigantic.
As a gigantic ossuary. And
maybe just correct you on that. Ossuary. Right. And you'll recognize the word because osso is like a Latin-based word that means bone. Ossus is bones in Portuguese. Okay, so you might recognize that from the Latin root. Ossuary is a place where you put bones. Just like sanctuary is a place where things are safe. Ossuary is a place where we put bones. Okay, so go back to the beginning. Let me hear.
Yeah.
Parisian gigantic ossuary.
The Parisian catacombs function as a gigantic ossuary and cemetery for approximately 6 million bodies. Beyond just bones, there is also the non-tourist section of the catacombs, where a mostly illegal and unpoliced second city extends for miles beneath Paris. See skeletons all around you engraved within walls. In fact, walls made of skeletons is a totally scary and creepy feeling one can get while roaming these caves.
There you go. So, is anyone going to visit the catacombs next time you go to Paris? Just out of curiosity? I would. This is pretty amazing. I would definitely go. There you go. So think about this for a second. I don't know if this happens where you live, but notice that last part of the caption. Part of it is this kind of like preserved museum space, but then part of it is a kind of squat, right? Because it has this unpoliced second city miles beneath Paris. People live down there. Think about that for a minute. People are living down there with 6 million skeletons. Wow. 6 million. Does anyone Does that blow your mind? Kind of blows my mind. There you go. Okay, let me just take a quick look where we are. I've got a few short ones for you just to end class, and my favorite one will be last, at the very end. The last 2 minutes I want to show you my favorite picture, particularly for Halloween. Okay, but first, give me just a second. I gotta make a little change here because I want you to see this picture before you read about it. So I'm just going to make a quick edit because I want to zoom in on a detail of this next picture. So give me just a second. Let me forward to picture number 5. And if you give me just a second, I'm going to try to zoom in on probably the most interesting part of the picture. If you can guess what this is, you win a cookie. I bet you no one will guess this. I wouldn't have guessed it, by the way. Give me a second. I'm going to put a little frame around it, and I'll refresh the page, and then we're going to take a look. Okay? So, I'm going to refresh. Let's go to... Oops. Let's go to... Who's here? Okay, Mr. Jose, tell me what you see in this picture. Uh-oh, I don't hear Jose. Going once. Going twice. No Jose. We're back to Sylvia. Sylvia, what do you see in this picture?
It's like a sculpture. It
Okay.
seems like it's under the water,
Mm-hmm.
and it has like I don't know the name. Mold.
Mold. It has mold. Okay. Are you sure it's mold? Mold is something that you would expect to find in your room. Or if you leave, oh, you mean it looks like it doesn't have mold, but it looks like it has mold. Is that what you mean?
Yeah.
The appearance.
Yeah.
It seems moldy. It seems moldy, you could say. Moldy. Hey, Sylvia?
Yes.
Moldy. I'm going to put that in the chat window. And also you said it seems like it's under the water. You can also just simplify that, and it seems to be underwater. In one word, underwater. Like this. Look in the chat window.
Okay.
Okay, very good. Mr. Antonio, she says it's some kind of a sculpture. Do you... Oh, I'm sorry, I've got some noise in the background. I apologize for that. Mr. Antonio, do you agree with her? Do you think it's a sculpture? Or is it a body? Ooh. What do you think, Antonio?
Really, I think it's a body.
You think it's a body?
Yeah, there is person who is covered with something to seem a sculptor. For example, in the street you can find people. So then I think this is an example of that.
So I didn't quite catch that. So you're talking about human sculptures in like the street somewhere?
Yeah, exactly. I think this is a sample of that. I don't know.
Ah, okay. So it's a performer.
Yeah, exactly.
Ah, it's a performer. So the performer's doing a kind of human sculpture.
Exactly this.
Got it. Very interesting. Good theory. Good theory. Okay, very good. And Carolina, do you agree? Could this be a human sculpture, like you might find in the middle of the square or something like that?
No, I don't think so.
What do you think?
I think it's a statue.
You think it's a statue? Yeah.
Yes, and then it was how can I say, sunk
exactly.
in the under the water, and then the algae covered the sculpture.
Okay, you could also say submerged too. Sunk or submerged. Submerged also. Because sunk could sound like it's a ship that went down. The ship sunk. But it's okay, you could say that word. But you might say submerged, because that means it was done deliberately. If you deliberately put something underwater, it's submerged. Let's zoom out. And tell me, class, if you're surprised when I zoom out and you see all the details. Boom! Antonio, you were wrong.
Yeah, I think the man would need a lot of oxygen.
He'd probably have to hold his breath. And he'd also be very, very tall if it was a real guy. He'd also be very tall.
But there are a lot of sculpture in the sub-sea, no?
In the South Sea?
I think I have seen this in a magazine of National Geographic. I think there are a lot of sculpture in the. It's amazing. Yeah.
Let's see what's really going on. Antonio, can you do that caption for us?
Yeah, Cristo se avisan portugués su Italy. You built statue of Christ in 1954 and placed it into the water and the depth on the 55 feet. Wow. Now it's another like I say it's another in another place.
Right. So this is in Italy, and it was done deliberately. It was deliberately placed into the water. Wow. If someone can find out the story, let me know. This is Christ of the Abyss. I want to save the best picture for last. I'm going to jump forward here. I've got a few. Just ignore these. Ignore this. Ignore this. Picture number 8, I think, is our last one. Let me just double check. No, it's picture number 9. Wait. Ignore this. Ignore this. Ignore this. We'll come back to it later. Picture number 9, class. Are you ready? Picture number 9?
Yes.
Jose?
Yes,
what is
I'm
this?
here.
What is this, Jose?
Yes,
what is it?
Pumpkin. Pumpkin.
It's a pumpkin. But this is a detail because I've zoomed in. It's a pumpkin.
Yes.
What else can you see in the picture besides the pumpkin? Is the pumpkin normal? Is it unusual?
No, I think it's a huge pumpkin.
Really? Why? Why do you say that? What makes you think that?
Because I see a huge pumpkin. It's not a small pumpkin.
Oh, but we can't see anyone else in the picture. We don't know how big it is.
In my opinion, it's a huge pumpkin.
Let's see. Natasha, do you agree with Jose? Do you think this is normal, or do you think it's huge, an abnormal one?
Okay, I'm not sure about size of this pumpkin because this size can be increased by Photoshop, for example, or
no Photoshop. No? This is real. This is real.
Real. But we know that there are a lot of techniques that have the opportunity to increase size. It may be photo was made this close destination close.
No. Absolutely no trickery. I promise you, no trickery whatsoever. It's a real photo.
And the stem that I see on the top of the pumpkin is very, very huge too.
Well, let's take a look. We have to end the class before we go. Let's zoom out. Boom.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, really huge pumpkin, yeah.
Ellie Benfield, 6 years old, sits on the record-breaking pumpkin in Southampton. A pair of twins have broken the UK record for growing the heaviest pumpkin ever, weighing in at a monstrous 1,884 pounds. Wow. And that is my image for you for Halloween. We've got to end here. I've got to start the next class. Okay? If you want a link to this to look at the other pictures, I'll give it to you right now in the chat window. There you go. And I'll be right back in just a minute to start language games. We're going to play a fun deduction game called, not really a deduction game, it's going to be a game where we imagine ourselves in different situations in the past called What Would You Have Done? All of that and more coming up. Have a happy Halloween if I don't see you, and have a great weekend. Bye for now, everyone. See you soon. Bye for now.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye
See
bye,
you.
John.
Bye.
Thank you.